Good morning. Today I want to talk about my bitches, this bike's glitches, and your do-it-yourself fixes. So let's get started.
Well, hello YouTubers, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm enjoying the ride, but at the same time I'm just sort of in a bitchy mood. There's a number of glitches that I've experienced since having my new Pan America, and I don't think it was necessary. I think that if Harley had done the job properly, I wouldn't have had to deal with these issues. This bike was 3 years in development. So why is it that the consumer has to deal with these petty little issues? I love this bike. This is the best bike that I've owned. I love the power. I love the handle. I love everything about it. And Harley has a right to feel proud for creating this bike, because they've done an amazing job. However, for the past 3 years when this bike was in development, I don't think they bothered to give it to someone and let them live with it for a week or two. Use the navigation, leave the bike in the garage without having techs work on it each night. Because if they had, these little glitches would have been dealt with before the bike arrived in the hands of the consumer. Anyway, that's my bitch. But now, what are the glitches? Which ones have been corrected? And which ones are still outstanding? First of all, when I got the bike, the USB port, which I use to charge my iPhone, only worked in the accessories position. When I turned on the bike was running, there was no power to the USB port, so my iPhone discharged. When I parked the bike in my garage and left it there for a couple of days, I went out to start it. The bike wouldn't start. I had to put it on the battery tender. Well, I took it back to the dealer, and they updated the software so that there was power to the USB port when the bike was running, and also they updated the software to ensure that the bike would run without being plugged into the trickle charger every night. These were minor software updates that should have taken place before I got the bike. Well, those were dealt with, and Fortunately, I have an absolutely fantastic Harley dealer here in Halifax. And when I brought the bike back, they contacted Harley, found out about the software updates that were required, and took care of it right away. From reading in the Facebook group, some other buyers weren't as fortunate. So now I want to talk about the other glitches that so far have not been resolved. This bike doesn't have a full navigation system, and the navigation runs through my iPhone and the Harley app that I've installed on it. However, when I link my iPhone to the bike and open the Harley app, the bike's navigation crashes my Harley app. So in order to use the Harley app for navigation, I have to remove my phone as one of the Bluetooth connected devices. And then I can use my phone to navigate and hear the audio through my Sena 30 headset. However, my iPhone would soon run out of power, so I have to plug it into the USB port. If I plug it into the USB port that now provides power, it also provides some other information that causes my iPhone to lose the audio. So I can't use the USB port to power my phone if I want to use the navigation. This problem is still unresolved. As said, they're minor problems, mostly associated with connectivity of devices, and all really involving the navigation. But it is important to have working navigation, so I could get a Zuma. But so far I've decided to wait until Harley has a fix. And I've thought of a way to work around it to be able to power my iPhone without using the USB port on the bike. We'll get into that later when I get back to the garage. The other annoyance I found was that the heat shield doesn't do a very good job of isolating my right leg from the heat generated from the back cylinder through the exhaust. Again, I did find a way to reduce the heat to an acceptable level. We'll go over that as well when I get back to the garage. And that's about it. I'm just loving this fantastic bike. And I guess I'm just a little upset at Harley for not checking out things thoroughly before bringing this to the market, because there's simple little problems that should have been dealt with. So that's my bitch. Those are the glitches. So let's get back to the garage and go over some possible solutions.
Well, we're back in the garage. Earlier, I was talking about the problem that there is just too much heat here on my right leg, right at this point where the back cylinder exhausts, and there's a high heat in that area. So the first thing we're going to do is remove this heat shield and have a look. Once we've removed the heat shield, we notice there are two possible problems. Number one, the heat shield is extremely close to the exhaust pipe. And of course, there's a lot of radiant heat from that exhaust pipe. So, in order to reduce the heat on the heat shield, we need to move that heat shield further away from the exhaust pipe. That's partial solution. Now the other solution is, or the other part of the solution would be to reduce the amount of heat that the exhaust pipe is radiating to that heat shield. In order to do that, I've decided to use a titanium heat wrap. So let's go over to the workbench and look at the tools that we'll need to do the job. Okay, I've laid the tools out, so let's go over what's here. First of all, these are the screws that I've removed from the heat shield. So I went to a local hardware store and I got some M6 by 1 by 20. These screws are somewhat longer than the originals. I've also bought some 6mm washers to be used as spacers. You'll need a scissors. You'll need some titanium heat tape and a couple of metal zip ties. For this job, I've estimated we're going to need about 6 feet of heat tape.
So I've already cut it. Now, the instructions that go with the different brands are sometimes different. So, in this case, the heat tape manufacturer recommends that we soak it in water. So, once I've finished soaking it thoroughly, I'm then going to wrap it around the exhaust pipe in the area where the heat shield is located, and then use these metal zip ties to secure each end. Let's get back to the bike. Now it's just to tighten the screw. Another problem I'm experiencing is that I can't use my USB port to power my iPhone because for some reason it kills the audio to my Sena 30. So I'm looking for another power source, and to find that power source I'm going to remove the seat. Now, under the seat, we see several possible power sources. There's an SAE connector here, charge the battery. However, this is only operational when the bike is turned off. So, since I need power when the bike is running, I can't use that. Now, there are two other possible power sources, and this is for the heated gear. These are coax connectors. Unfortunately, there's no adapter to go from coax to the USB. So I need to have an adapter to take it from coax to SAE, and then there is an adapter from SAE to the USB. And so I'm going to tap into one of these to get power and run it. I'll run my lead under this console where it won't be seen. Unfortunately, although I've ordered these parts, I haven't received these adapters yet. And so I can't demonstrate how I'm going to route the wire and use the USB power. But it's a simple thing. As soon as these adapters arrive I just ordered them from Amazon. So when they arrive, I'll do another video to show you how I connected it up
and got my USB power to my iPhone. That's it. Thank you. It's been a pleasure doing this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, how about a big thumbs up? And maybe if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified. Ring the bell and you'll be notified when I make the next one. So you take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.